Let me ask you something real for a second. When was the last time something amazing happened in your life and you didn't think about how it would look online? Because, let's be honest, we live in a world where everything goes online. Promotions, vacations, gym progress, soft launches, breakups, healing eras. If it doesn't hit the feed, it almost feels like it didn't happen. And yet, some people stay quiet. They're active, they scroll, they see everything. But when it comes to their own lives, silence. No updates, no life recap threads, no photo dump. So what's the deal? Why would someone choose to stay low-key in a culture that literally runs on visibility? Most people assume it's insecurity, or they say, oh, they're just shy. But that explanation barely scratches the surface. For a lot of people, not posting isn't fear, it's intention. Social media has low-key rewired how we define ourselves. Every like, every comment, every notification gives your brain a small dopamine hit. And over time, your mind starts connecting attention with value. It's subtle, but it's powerful. You start experiencing moments with an imaginary audience in the background. You're at dinner, but part of your brain is thinking about the lighting. You're on vacation, but you're also thinking about the caption. You're not just living, you're curating. And eventually, some people notice that shift. They realize they don't feel present anymore. They feel observed, like their life turned into content. And that realization hits different, because once you see that you've been performing parts of your life, even unintentionally, it can feel uncomfortable. So some people pull back, not with a dramatic taking a break post, not with a goodbye speech. They just stop. Psychologically, many people who rarely post tend to have a stronger internal sense of self. Their confidence doesn't rely as heavily on outside validation. That doesn't mean they don't care what people think. It just means their identity isn't built on engagement metrics. They don't need digital applause to feel solid. But let's keep it real. Silence online doesn't always come from strength. Sometimes it comes from burnout. There's an unspoken pressure on social media to look like you're thriving at all times. Everyone's glowing. Everyone's leveling up. Everyone's in their best era. Meanwhile, you're just trying to survive Tuesday. Even if you logically know that feeds are curated, your nervous system still reacts. You still compare. You still wonder if you're falling behind. And that constant comparison is exhausting. So, for some people, stepping back isn't dramatic. It's protective. They realize the cost of visibility feels heavier than the benefit. There's also something deeply personal about certain moments in life. A relationship that changed you. A loss that broke you. A quiet win that meant everything. When you post those moments, even with good intentions, they stop being fully yours. They become open to commentary, interpretation, assumptions. And even if the feedback is positive, something shifts internally. Psychologists call this psychological ownership, the sense that something deeply belongs to you. When you share it publicly, that sense of ownership can weaken. For some people, keeping moments private makes them feel more real, more sacred, more protected. Now, here's another layer people don't talk about enough. Some people don't post because they're scared. Not weak, just aware. Some people don't post because they stopped outsourcing their self-worth to an algorithm. Social media can amplify self-presentational anxiety, that constant awareness that you're being evaluated. Even a simple photo can feel like exposure. What if people judge it? What if nobody reacts? What if it's misunderstood? So instead of taking that emotional risk, they choose stillness. And here's the ironic part. A lot of the quietest people online have the loudest inner worlds. They think deeply. They observe everything. They analyze patterns most people miss. They just don't feel the need to broadcast every realization. There's also a certain peace that comes when you stop tying your worth to visibility. When you do something meaningful and don't post it, you experience it differently. You're not splitting your attention between living and documenting. You're fully in it. The laughter feels fuller. The conversations feel deeper. Time feels slower. You're not outside the moment trying to capture it. You're inside it. And in a world that constantly says, "Look at me," choosing not to participate feels almost rebellious. It's like saying, "I exist, whether you see me or not." That's powerful. But silence can be misunderstood. People might assume you're detached, antisocial, or hiding something. In reality, you might just be protecting your energy. Not posting doesn't mean you're not living. It doesn't mean you're not happy. Sometimes, it means you don't feel the need to prove it. We've been conditioned to believe visibility equals value. But some of the biggest transformations in your life will never make it to a feed. Your healing, your growth, your private battles, your silence wins. Those things shape you more than any post ever could. And the people who rarely post often understand that on a deeper level. They know their worth doesn't disappear just because it isn't displayed. They know connection isn't measured in likes. They know presence matters more than performance. So maybe the quiet ones aren't missing out. Maybe they just opted out of the noise. Maybe they realized that being unseen isn't the same as being insignificant. And maybe, in a culture obsessed with attention, their silence isn't weakness. It's awareness. If you're someone who rarely posts, I'm curious. Is it peace, burnout, or something else? Drop one word in the comments.